Hello. Why are we getting
the STARR Coalition this year as the Director of Advocacy Engagement. So I'll just give a few quick updates for you guys. But as far as the Advocacy Board goes, we've been working to collect voices of research ambassadors who are willing to share their experience as research participants, but also their lived experience with mental illness. We have actually began putting those in our newsletters with an individual named Douglas. And so that's kind of the start of this research ambassador program. But we're hoping in this way that our partners can pull from a pool of participants and they are able to share their own insight, which is much more powerful than any of our own on their experiences. So we're hoping this educational research will be a great tool for our community. I'm also a part of the volunteer transition work group, and that work group works in aiding individuals who are coming out of research studies. So as I'm sure all of you are aware, coming out of the structure of a research study is difficult to navigate. So the intention of this work group has been to make that transition a little bit easier for participants. We've mainly focused on ideas for housing and stabilizing them within their local communities. So we do the outreach for them and connect them to people that can help them better. Another work group that is still moving strongly forward into 2020 is the diversity work group, which is headed by Dr. Shashuka Malhotra and Miss Timmy Tope Keys. They've been working to further the conversation of diversity and inclusion within research, but also within communities as a whole. So we're really looking forward to where that work group will go in 2020. And that's all I have, Erica.
Thanks, Mel. Thanks. I wanted to jump to Cynthia Kraft, who runs the Rockstar programs for us. Cynthia, are you on the line?
I am.
Excellent. All right, I'm going to pop up your little the screen share, but if you want to start talking about, sure.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cynthia Kraft. I've joined the STARR back in May of 2021. And my responsibility is to manage the Rockstar program. Recently, after spending a lot of time talking to all the sites and seeing the monthly reports come in, showing the efforts that the various individuals at these sites are making to contribute to the Rockstar program, we came up with the idea of creating an Advocacy Ace Award. The Advocacy Ace Award was established by the STARR in recognition of these individuals for their consistent performance in securing donations to the advocacy groups through the Project Rockstar program. Our first effort in sending out these awards, we presented 32 individuals representing 27 sites with these new Advocacy Ace Awards. So as Advocacy Aces, we are acknowledging that these staff members have taken the time to educate their volunteers about local advocacy services and support that is available to those living with mental illness. And we also felt that for our sites to show our support, that STARR is acknowledging the value in these individuals and views this as a way to boost morale and show support for our sites to retain these valuable staff members. It also provides an opportunity, as Erica is showing you, for people to take the pictures showing their award. They can also proudly display it in their office. And it gives the site all something to be surprised about because they were not told in advance that they would be receiving these very lovely awards. In one response I received from a staff member who said, "Thank you, Cynthia, for the Advocacy Ace Award. That was special and really brightened our day here at the office. Thanks for all you do for those living with mental illness. We are proud to be affiliated with the Rockstar program." So that was, right there says it all, the way it was received, and we're very, very pleased about that. We're looking forward to making the Rockstar a semi-annual award. So that 2 times a year, now it will be, mid in the summer, we will again look at the performance across the sites and come up with another batch of awards and send them out. In 2022, we're going to be highlighting those that you've seen the photos of, as well as any others that send their photo in, so that throughout our newsletters, we'll do like a highlight of individuals who've taken their picture and will be able to acknowledge who they are and their site. So that also will help communicate the work that the sites are doing and just show, again, the support for them. We have more sponsors who are interested in 2022 and joining with the Rockstar program. So we're looking forward to building more interest in the program. We currently have 4 active programs and have budgeted approximately $150,000 is budgeted so far to be distributed to the local advocacy groups. That leads me to sending out these local advocacy group payments, which we are preparing to do, and we'll probably get this done by the end of January. So these individual sites that have generated donations, there will be checks issued to the local chapters of NAMI, MHA, and DBSA. And it will it'll most likely go to the site so that the site has an opportunity to contact the local chapter and create either like a meeting or send the check and a Zoom call or however they want to do it. But what we're trying to do is obviously increase the communication between the local chapters and our sites, you know, give them a chance to possibly work together on some programs that will benefit not only the volunteers, but the sites and the advocacy groups. And then my last thought is that, which I don't think has really been addressed, that since we have certain people on the phone, maybe that there is a point person from each of our advocacy group organizations that I can work with when we send out these payments, so that you're aware of which sites, which advocacy groups within your organization are receiving these payments, and help to facilitate these new relationships in support of our sites. And that's the Rockstar program.
Thanks, Cynthia. That's awesome.
You're welcome.
Back to you, Woody. That's the STARR update for this year.
Well,
if you guys have any questions, please feel free to call or email or text me. You can always text me. I'll be happy to provide any further information.
Right. Well, now on to the awards presentations for this year. And the first award is the STARR 2021 Advocate of the Year, and this will be presented by last year's winner, Kimberly King, on behalf of DBSA. And Kimberly, if you'll take the stage.
Thank you, Woody. Thank you, Erica, Carol, Mallory, for inviting me to be here today. This time last year, I had the honor, along with our CEO, Michael Pollack, to accept the award on behalf of the National Office of DBSA for the Advocate of the Year. And this year, what a year has been, and what a year has been for mental health. So this year, I am so excited to be able to pay it forward and to recognize and celebrate our colleagues at the Jed Foundation and Katie Cunningham, who joined the STARR Advocacy Board this year with this year's award. Jed has done so much in terms of their work with the youth and young adults, and it relates to mental health. Through the Jed High School and their campus programs, they have grown by leaps and bounds in terms of the reach of those they serve. And we know that the earlier that people are able to recognize and have support for their mental health, the better their health outcomes could be. And I am so excited just to be able to welcome Jed to this group of awardees. And I'm gonna pause and let Mallory talk a little bit more about Katie and the great work that the Jed is doing. And Mallory, I'm gonna ask you to take it away.
Yes, thank you, Kimberly. So I'm so excited for the Jed Foundation to be receiving this year's Advocate of the Year award. And I just want to reiterate how thankful we are for Kimberly and DBSA as the people passing this award on. You guys are wonderful. I reached out to Katie this year in September. She was kind of the first group that actually I was able to connect with and bring on board. And since then, she has fully immersed herself in our STARR community on behalf of Jed Foundation. So I just want everyone to recognize Katie as being someone who is always willing to give feedback and ideas on our advocacy board calls, and just let her know that we've greatly appreciated her collaboration and engagement within our group. Just to give you some facts about Jed and why they are receiving this award. The Jed Foundation has grown both their Jed High School and Jed Campus programs to serve nearly 400 schools, representing over 4.8 million students. Reaching this incredible number of school-age children allows them to show their support for students' mental wellness, as well as greatly reduce the risk of suicide. Video stories for Jed Sees the Awkward campaign, which was developed in partnership with the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, has been viewed over 50 million times. And research shows that teens and young adults who have interacted with this campaign are more likely to have initiated conversations with their friends about mental health. And we all know that it just starts with one conversation that can change someone's life. So we just want to congratulate Katie and the Jed Foundation again for this honor. And thank you for your support and your advocacy in the mental health community. Katie?
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you are. It's really great to see all of you. As Kimberly and Mallory shared, my name is Katie Cunningham, and I'm the Chief External Affairs Officer at the Jed Foundation. And I'm here today with my colleague, Keisha Anderson, who's our Senior Director of Communications. And for those of you who may not be too familiar with our work, the Jed Foundation is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to protect emotional health and prevent suicide for our nation's teens and young adults. And on behalf of our organization, I'd like to thank Kimberly and Mallory and Erica for that wonderful introduction, and the STARR Coalition for this award. We are so honored and humbled to be receiving the Advocate of the Year award. It's really been a privilege to be part of this coalition to create change by increasing collaboration in the areas of mental health advocacy, treatment, and clinical research, and just to learn from people like Kimberly and the excellent work she's doing at DBSA, as well as others in the coalition. So we're very excited that the Jed Foundation will be expanding its advocacy and research work as part of our current growth plan. And we really look forward to continuing to be part of the STARR Coalition in 2020. So thank you so much again. Really appreciate this honor.
Katie, this is Woody. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
The name, the Jed Foundation, what is that from?
Yeah, thank you for asking. So the organization was founded a little over 20 years ago by a couple who lost their son, whose name was Jed, to suicide when he was a college student. So they've named the organization after him to really honor his memory and legacy. And we started our work in the higher education space, given that he passed away while a college student, to really strengthen the systems, policies, and programs in a higher ed setting to better support the mental health needs of college students. So that was sort of our original program. And now we've expanded into other areas like high school, as Mallory mentioned, as well as advocacy, campaigns like Seize the Awkward to reach young people sort of between the ages of 13 and 30 directly. But the college program was our original program here at the Jed Foundation. Thank you for asking.
Great, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's hear a little round of applause here, a sitting ovation.
Thank you.
If you understand, they can do that.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
The second award this year is the STARR 2021 Site Award. Last year's winner is Neurobehavioral Clinical Research in Ohio, in the Canton area. Dr. Shashuka Malhotra won the award last year, and unfortunately she's not able. Fortunately for her, I think she's in a place where it's a lot more comfortable and no contact. But Carol has graciously agreed to do the presentation of this year's award winner representing Dr. Malhotra. Carol, take it away.
Hi, my friends.
Hey.
As I am immersed in the world of clinical research and have really struggled yesterday and today, just snowed in books and budgets and all of the ugly things of work, right? Now I was kind of thrown back and not necessarily wanting to do this. I said, you know, my hair's all over the place. I have no makeup on. I'm tired. I'm cranky. Whatever. And it's amazing as you guys are ahead of me talking, and my heart is just full, and it makes me realize how special the STARR is and how special all of you guys are to me, and how how this just kind of rejuvenates the work that I do on a daily basis, the hustle and bustle. But really what we're all here for is for the individuals that we're taking care of. And so let me just not cry now. So my responsibility today was to talk a little bit about the site of the year. And obviously, my friend, Dr. Malhotra from Neurobehavioral Research, who was the site of the year last year in 2020, is actually on a flight to India. So, of course, I get the honor to go behind in her footsteps. I wanted to present the site of the year for 2021. But let me talk to you a little bit about the STARR Award and the site award. What is the reason for it, and why do we have that, and why do the stakeholders want to create that? But it's really the purpose of it was just to really distinguish itself through the year for its, the site that was committed to advancing not only the research, but also identifying different areas for patient care, treating every patient volunteer with respect and integrity, ensuring that research is seen as part of the community's ecosystem. And I really feel right along with the other individuals who are part of the selection committee that the site year this year is Cynicell's ACMR. That, it's an honor to actually present them. I'm going to tell you a little bit about why they were selected. And excuse my inability to speak today. This is all Erica's fault for making me do this. So they've worked both locally and nationally on different levels to increase awareness for mental health research, and has created different systems to reduce stigma for mental health and related research. They've distributed educational flyers at regional community centers and provided question and answer presence for the locations for the individuals living with mental illnesses and their loved ones, mostly family. Cynicell ACMR's team has teamed up with Georgia's Division of Family and Children's Services for various initiatives, knowing that mental health challenges create a ripple effect across the entire family and can be felt across generations. When I read that, I was so impressed with that. I think it's very hard to get into these systems, so I was excited to hear about that. They've also participated in research spanning across 5 sites across the U.S., exploring the impact of COVID-19 for individuals living with mental illness through the pandemic. So accepting this award on behalf of Cynicell ACMR is Dr. Sarah Kazmi, a friend of mine that I've developed in the past year. She's the VP and General Manager of ACMR, Cynicell, and she's been working with the STARR for a few years now and has been such a great co-host on a couple of the monthly site-to-site Zoom calls. She makes all of us look really good. So, congratulations, Cynicell ACMR. Accepting the award on behalf of Cynicell is Dr. Kazmi. Hello.
Thanks, Carol. Thank you so much. I'm super lucky, before I was going to have Dr. Malhotra hand it off to me, and now I get Carol. So I am the lucky one right now. And we are very, very excited to accept this award. Erica knows how, we are so excited to be a part of STARR and everything that it stands for. So we at Cynicell ACMR are very happy to be included in this. We were fortunate enough to be in a few panels earlier in the year and just have this platform to talk with other sites, sponsors, CROs about what we do, how, all of us are maneuvering during this time. When Woody opened it up there, it was very accurate in saying, what we've all gone through in this past year and a half. And I would say The real champions are all of us at the sites, sponsors, CROs. We're all working towards, you know, that larger picture. And if any of us in our day-to-day monotonous work forgot about what the bigger picture was, I think this past year was a very good reminder of what it is that we do and why we do it. So again, we are very honored to be a part of this. Thank you, Erica and the STARR Coalition for including us, you know, within this great team. ACMR has been, you know, around for a while, and we're very much involved within the community. But this past year and a half, we made it a real conscious effort to reach out to the local communities and try to spread that awareness. We've often done our holiday drives for toys and families. We made care packages and distributed them to different organizations here locally, just with the essentials. I think that was an important thing that the team rallied up to do. You know, we participated in a lot of other just awareness activities. We went to local organizations like Carol mentioned and just handed out flyers and just did a Q&A and just let them know that we are here as another resource. I think that was truly a message that we wanted to get out there, that this is who we are, what we do, and that we're here to help. And like, you know, we talked about it, just erasing that stigma about what mental health illness is. So we are appreciative. We look forward to collaborating with the other sites and sponsors and continue pushing out this work, and are excited for what the future holds. We pivoted a little bit and saw, you know, all of the different ways we can be of help to the community. We all know, especially those of us who see patients, you know, on an almost daily basis, that mental health often touches not just one person within the family, but really multiple people. And so we're there as a voice for them. It's not so much just, you know, seeing them for that patient visit, but really getting a better understanding of how they're doing at home. You know, what is driving this? What is affecting this? And I think we've been able to see that even if that person isn't within the study, but we can see the effects of that within the family. And that's something that really is rewarding to our staff. Again, the staff, the patients, they are the real champions. Without them, we would not be here right now. It's been a very tough year. And I have to just say, you know, a big thank you to everyone involved, because without them showing up every single day and putting their personal, you know, whatever's going on aside and pushing through and working together as a team, without that effort, we wouldn't be all where we are, and we wouldn't all accomplish what we have in such a short amount of time. So that's truly who the pat on the back goes to. You know, this platform, again, is a great platform for us to learn from each other. We have gotten tons of ideas when our staff calls into some of these Zoom calls, and, you know, learn from all that and apply those things to ourselves and our site. And hopefully we're able to provide a little bit of that back to the team, because that's what all of this is about. It's about, you know, giving back, paying it forward. So we've gained a lot out of this. So we just wanted to say thank you. We are excited, you know, to see what comes next out of this.
Sarah, thank you so much. You know, I think one of the things you pointed out is so important. I was talking with some of our staff the other day, and we were talking about what business are we actually in? Are we in the research business? Are we in the medicine business? What are we in? And we all came up with a very simple answer. We're actually in the people business. Yeah. And it's the relationships and what we do for the individual, and particularly on the mental health side. It's just, if we don't focus on being a people business, we get ourselves in trouble. I'd also like to congratulate you guys, and this will be a little bit self-serving, but on the synergy of a private site then becoming part of a group of sites. And I think it's really kind of the synergistic effect of taking the best of a facility that's been there for a long time and established, and adding the expertise and different aspects from a group of sites that can bring to that site. And I think you guys have pulled it off really, really well. So I congratulate you guys and the CenXL team for being able to pull this off so well. And thank you and congratulations to you guys.
Thank you, Woody. Thank you, everyone.
The next award, yeah, well, okay, standing up. Thank you, Kimberly, for making me aware of that. I forgot the applause. The next award is the STARR 2021 CRO of the Year Award. last year's winner, Syneos, which I think is what, 37 years in a row now that Syneos had won that award. Chris, is that correct? Is it 37 years or just?
Yeah, it's about right, Woody. You got it right.
Yeah. And so we're having the last year's award was Syneos, and we're having Alex Weiss, who will be presenting this year's award. Alex?
Thank you so much, Woody, and thank you to the STARR organization. We are just amazed that we are once again being recognized. But first, let me just kick off by saying that Syneos Health has been engaged even more heavily this year in mental health advocacy and in diversity messaging the entire year of 2021. And when we promote attention towards topics of diversity, we are including mental health in that message. From diversity in leadership to diversity in clinical trials, which is an effort that was co-led and supported by many members of this community, particularly Dr. Shashuka Malhotra. We were honored to be joined by many of you in spreading those messages at CNS Summit this year. And we look forward to continuing the dialogue across clinical development and other upcoming conferences. The STARR organization is a unique organization led by passionate leaders. It is our honor and privilege to join the continuing effort to advocate for the mental health community. The work we do each and every day is devoted to the promotion of health and wellness of all persons without prejudice, imaginary walls, or restrictions. We encourage every CRO, sponsor, and service provider to rise up to meet the goals that the STARR Coalition has challenged all of us in the spirit of clinical trial mental health advocacy and diversity. The STARR CRO of the Year Award is given to the CRO deserving of recognition for their efforts in working with advocacy on behalf of those living with mental health illnesses, as well as the CRO's exceptional support of the STARR Coalition and our collective efforts to support mental health clinical research. I could not be more happy to present this award to Chris Southard, Executive Director of Clinical Development at Syneos Health. He is a continuing role model of advocacy leadership in the Syneos Health organization and in our community. Chris's roots go way back to direct care for the most vulnerable mental health populations. He is at heart a patient well-being focused individual. And for that reason, I am incredibly honored to be Chris's colleague and to present to him the CRO of the Year Award to Chris Southard of Syneos Health. Thank you, Chris.
Oh, thank you, Alex. I mean, that's fantastic. Just grateful to be able to be a part of this group of professionals that have done so much to collaborate together, even in the most difficult of times, for our core and true values of working with those suffering from mental illness. This is, I think, the most unique organization in the world doing this work, and so proud to be a part of it, and grateful to you, Alex, and other senior managers at Syneos Health to allowing us the time, to commit to be a part of this group. We do really important work, all of us. And it's really great to see the progression of the STARR Coalition. The message is resonating. We are making a difference. We are getting through. We've come so far since the beginning, in 2015. So much has been accomplished and there's more to be done. So we're spreading the word here at Syneos. We're proud of our collaboration, with Alchemies and Otsuka and Project Rockstar, and we maintain the goal of getting more sponsors on board with that program, STARR 911 as well. And we include in all of our psychiatry proposals our collaboration with STARR and advocacy. So we're letting all of our sponsors know about this important work, and even the work that we win and the work that we don't. And everyone is curious about what we do. And so we're looking forward to the continued collaboration and the growth in 2022. So most grateful to all of you. And thank you so much, Alex, for those kind words.
Chris, thank you so much. Great job. The next award is the 2021 Sponsor of the Year Award. And last year's winner, Alchemies, and Adam Simmons is here to present this year's award. Adam?
Great. Thank you so much, Woody. This is such an honor to be here. I always look forward to any opportunities to engage not only with the STARR Coalition, but a lot of the individual members here. And I'll echo what's been said about 2021 being a special year. It's been particularly interesting for Alkermes. We've had much more of an opportunity to collaborate with individuals and really learn a lot more about your organizations. And through this, whether it's the virtual environment and not having to focus so much on meeting people individually at a meeting or something like that, I've really felt the opportunity to have more people exposed to Alkermes as a business. We've had people like Luke Kramer come in and speak to our organization, as well as be invited into many of your organizations. Participating with DBSA in their leadership summit this year, being involved in podcasts, Matt Shapiro, and so it's really this collaboration and this unique group that is brought together. Although there's been a number of challenges, I think that we've really seen a lot of new opportunities and really there's no kind of last meeting before the holidays that I'd rather be involved with than with this group of people that I consider some of my best colleagues and friends. So with that, on behalf of the STARR Coalition, I'm incredibly happy to present the award for Sponsor of the Year to Karuna Therapeutics. The fact that a company as young and relatively small as Karuna would put advocacy to the forefront of their mission to create new therapies for mental health treatments should really come to no surprise to anybody who's familiar with that leadership team. They all have very deep grounded experience, both in bringing new therapies to people living with mental illness and their previous endeavors, but also understanding that they have a responsibility as researchers to engage with patients and advocates on how those medicines should be developed and really incorporate it into a shared goal that we all have of creating better treatments for mental health. Dr. Steve Brannon himself being one of the founding members of the STARR Coalition, who early on with Carol and a handful of other people recognized the shared purpose of the STARR Coalition among its members to create a change to the way that things had previously been done. So given the huge contributions this early of Karuna at this early stage, I know that we're all very, very excited to see them grow over the upcoming years and continue to make real impact to the people living with and affected by mental illness. And accepting the award on behalf of Karuna today is, again, another one of my very good friends and former colleague, both in his time at Alkermes that we had together, but also going back to his days as a clinical investigator. I can say that I've personally witnessed, and you can actually follow in his research, that Peter's really an ambassador of the values that we would want to see sponsors, investigators, and advocacy working together to bring real change, and has certainly lived by that as long as I've known him. So with that, Dr. Peter Wyden, congratulations on the Sponsor of the Year Award.
Wow. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great. This is our new fancy room, and the speaker is up. I want to thank you. I'm deeply moved, Adam, especially coming from you. You are immense. And when I heard about
this, that's a good thing, by the
way. when I heard from Erica that Karuna won, I was sort of blown away, especially since when I was at Alkermes, I've seen how Alkermes has its own division and has people devoted to it. And we got into this, and when I was employee 30 a year and a half ago, and Steve Brannon said, hey, there's this thing STARR, and could you please make it work and figure out a way to support them? And okay. And I also, on behalf of Karuna, if we have won this award for really moving our game further, it's really also because of Erica, because Erica and I had many meetings where we were figuring this out together as to how can a small company do better and contribute more and expand their presence. And when that happened, after several calls, then the initial project was figuring out a way to start our site engagement, Well, then we became a corporate sponsor. So we zigged and zagged. And then as we saw what STARR Coalition has to offer and the bandwidth of such a small organization has already been so helpful to us in helping us figure out what we need to do next, who we need to partner with. I'm just, on behalf of the company, really grateful. One of my colleagues, Alexis Smith, worked very hard for our, corporate, for our guiding principle. I usually think these things are silly, but I found this deeply moving, so I'll end with speaking to that. Our purpose at Karuna is to create and deliver transformative medicines for people living with psychiatric and neurologic conditions. I hope we continue our support with helping our patients. That is the goal. I am so thrilled also with the last part of STARR is involving patients into the transition process of going in and out. When I was a clinical investigator, I used to tell my staff, our patients are pretty resilient. They can handle placebo. They can handle drugs with side effects. But what they can't handle is disruption in relationships. And if we then say, oh, thank you for joining, you're done, without taking care that this person is still as valuable an individual and human, we have not done our job. And to see STARR recognize that and set up a program, I'm deeply moved with that. So I want to thank you. And I want Steve Brannon here. Steve seems gruff, but he does have a heart of gold. And many of our conversations with Erica were how to manage Steve. So Steve, if you have any
Actually, Peter, if it was a lot of us were watching you give your presentation, I actually know that Steve is a ventriloquist. That's when so his lips weren't moving, but I wasn't sure about that just for a little bit.
But he wasn't doing this behind my head.
No, not this time. Personal congratulations to both of you guys. We've had an opportunity to work with you guys, and it's just a wonderful organization and just filled with incredibly great people. Almost all who have gray hair, I'd like to say, which is something that I personally appreciate. But no, you guys,
more gray these days.
You guys have been spectacular to work with, and we're just thrilled to what the future brings for you guys. It's very exciting, and congratulations.
Thanks.
The last of the awards is the STARR 2021 Lou Egonic Award, and last year's winner, Matthew Shapiro, will be presenting this year's award. I hope I didn't butcher the name.
No, you got my name exactly right. Don't worry about it.
I'm not worried about your name.
No, in all seriousness, it's such an honor. Erica wanted me to mention that the Lou Egonic Award is the most distinguished honor that the STARR Coalition gives. It sounded kind of like self-serving for me to say it. So those are Erica's words, not mine, but it's certainly true. And it was such an honor to receive the award last year. I keep my Louis, which I call it, right near my desk. So it's really been a moral compass for me and to keep me working hard and driven and reaching for the stars, which is what we do here at the STARR Coalition. And just NAMI New York State and I am just so grateful for the privilege to be a part of this coalition. As I was hearing others talk, I think about the unique thing that we have here. It kind of feels more like a group of friends and a family than it does of colleagues. And it produces so many great things, both through advocacy and just awareness. I just, in the past year, I think about when I had a local media company come to me because Alkermes was getting a new drug on the market. And I reached out to Adam and Leslie. I'm like, I have a report. You guys have talking points. I mean, that connection is just so valuable. And of course, for what this award represents and through advocacy, we're so grateful to have the STARR on our side. In fact, just yesterday, the STARR not only signed on to one of our big campaigns that we're doing right now, which is to advance the 988 initiative in New York State, to replace 911. Not only did STARR sign on as a national partner, but spread the word about this. And STARR has also been so helpful with for our education conferences here, getting speakers. I know we had Corey Fowler from UTSCA, who just gave an amazing presentation about new breakthroughs in research and treatment. So just so grateful to be a part of this amazing organization and be surrounded with, I'm not going to say such good colleagues, but such good friends. And really, my predecessor or my successor in receiving this award certainly fits that bill as one of the amazing individuals who is a part of this coalition. Oh, one thing I almost forgot to mention, if anyone is interested in signing up, I'll put a link here in the chat box to sign on to our letter of support. If you email me, I can send you the letter too that we're sending to our governor. But we are looking for national partners. We have AFSP, the Trevor Project, obviously NAMI, MHA. So if you're a national partner and want to sign on, we'd love to have you. So that's enough plugging. I'm sorry, not to take away from my friend and fellow advocate of the year and receiver of the Egonic Award, which, as I said, is the most prestigious award, distinguished award that the STARR gives, and the only award given to an individual. So this year's individual and the recipient of the award, Paul Jakewith, who's the president and CEO of Mental Health America of Southeast Florida. And I know I've had the opportunity to meet Paul when we were down, used to be all together down in Florida. I miss him. He's always been a value source, a resource, and he's been working with the STARR Coalition in support of clinical research for the last 5 years. Paul was selected for the award because he's for the first time ever, Paul, along with Luke Aaron Terriman, presented at the National Mental Health America Conference in support of mental health research. Paul appealed directly to MHA's affiliates from all over the country about the need for providers of services to utilize every option in our tool belts to help people find recovery and comfort. MHA and the affiliates have traditionally seen research as a non-treatment focused process, but Paul's appeal changed that. The new CEO of Mental Health America National was in the audience and agreed that National MHA would embrace the idea that research is a valuable link in the chain to recovery. Paul exemplifies how one individual can change the conversation around mental health research, something I applaud him as an advocate more than anything. It's just amazing whenever we can move the needle. So, he's done this. He's promoted research in a major, major way, paving the way for thousands of people, including advocates, peers, peer support staff, and MHA affiliates across the country to accept research, not just as a treatment option, but as a path towards hope for a cure. And now I think Erin's going to join us too, and I think she had some personal words to say about Paul, and then I will hand over the award to him, so to speak. So is Erin here?
I am. Thank you, Matthew. I just wanted to jump in really quickly and talk a little bit about Paul. I actually, during my time at Siegel, I got to meet Lou, and he was a really amazing person, super, super passionate. And Paul, you exemplify just that. Over my time working with you, you've always been so passionate about research and willing to have those conversations, and the partnership that MHA had with Siegel or has with Siegel is really incredible and one of our easier and most relatable relationships with the advocacy groups. And so it was an honor to be able to be on that panel with you and Luke, and to really bring the word about how important research is to all of the advocates at the conference. And so I just wanted to say thank you for the relationship that we've had and helping us continue this conversation about how important research is with your group. And this is just incredibly well-deserved. So congratulations.
Thanks, Erin. that's my award. Apparently, I'm the only one who actually physically received the award. And I strongly suspect the reason why I got it is that Carol personally got involved and forced Matthew to get on a plane to fly from Buffalo to Southeast Florida to deliver this to me. So I appreciate all the efforts to get this and let me unmask. First of all, I'd like to thank the STARR Coalition for your support and recognition. I'd also like to thank, I have staff members that are on this call. I have board members that are on this call. My girlfriend is on this call. So I got a lot of support here. I mean, that's what advocates are for, right? Is support. I'm really doubly honored because as a non-consumer, to be recognized as an advocate on behalf of consumers, to me is just beyond anything. I mean, this is why I got into this field, 8.5 years ago. Actually, a little bit longer than that. But I really appreciate the opportunity to kind of be recognized. I knew Lou, and if any of you knew Lou, I like to say Lou is a character with character. Lou is one of those guys, like a New York guy. Hey, how you doing? And as soon as he walked into a room, man, it was like there was a presence. And I kind of knew him because he used to come to our organization, and just to give you an idea of the character of the man, he would come to our support groups, and of course lock horns with the support group leader, and was escorted out of the building more than once. But that was Lou. He just put it out there. He did not hold back. He let you know what he felt needed to happen. Which made him a great advocate, which makes this award just so special to me in his honor. The fact that I knew the man and knew how he operated. I mean, he could pick me out of a room 10 miles away and make a beeline for me. And what's interesting is my history with STARR goes way back to when I guess Carol and Luke were first starting this up, and they contacted me and said, hey, do you want to join this group? And I thought, yeah, that's what I want to do. Is I want to be in a fancy hotel with a bunch of people wearing white lab coats with clipboards. And so one of the things I learned very early on is, wait a minute, that's not what researchers look like. That's what Hollywood tells me they look like. And that's what Hollywood tells me that's how they act. But as I got to know people who work in the research community, I realized and recognized they're doing this just the same as I'm doing this. For many of you who are on this call and many more, there are people in your families. There are people you know. There are people who themselves are working in this industry because their heart tells them this is a place for them to be. And so the work that we've tried to do over the years is to represent the consumers in the process. And it warmed my heart to hear Peter talk about his message and the message of all the research folks that, it's not like after 6 meetings, you're done and you move on, that, we're dealing with individuals. And I learned early on that the most important therapeutic value of any tool in our tool belt is the relationship. It's been proven in research for you researchers. It has been proven through research. The relationship is really the bond that helps people heal, find recovery, and move on in their lives. Of course, there are the tools in the tool belt, and the message that Luke and myself and Erin, thank you so much. In our conversation and in our presentation at Mental Health America back in June, national, we talked about why would we, as clinicians, as behavioral health providers, not include every single tool that we can in our tool belt. It's short-sighted to say, well, we don't work with the research folks because whatever. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So I will continue to be that voice. I really have I'm so honored to receive this. And Matthew, thank you so much for the kind words. And receiving this from you, it really means a lot to me, because I think, over the years, MHA and NAMI have really developed some very strong bonds as national organizations. And we continue to do good things for the people that we represent. And I'm very proud and very happy to be part of this. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Paul, thank you very much. I think Lou would be very proud of you. He'd be very proud of Matthew. And I'm very proud of you that you have a girlfriend, actually. I think that's impressive all by itself. But, we have to take what we can get. But congratulations to everybody. And thank you all for being on the call. I just want to mention one thing. I hope we all have a chance of seeing each other face to face this late May in Scottsdale, Arizona at the NCDO/ASCP meeting. I'm an old fart, so I still call it NCDO. You can call it ASCP, it's up to you. But it's a great meeting. Its focus is really on psychiatry and research and what we can all do. And after being able to see a lot of you even for a few seconds or for longer at CNS Summit, we realize how important it is to have those face-to-face contacts again. So it's in Scottsdale, Arizona, the end of May. Please look it up if you can be there. It's a terrific meeting. And it's a very, very reasonably priced meeting also compared to some others. So once again, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. A phrase we don't use anymore, except for old people like me, is season's greetings, which you don't see at all anymore. But all of those things, please have a safe, happy, healthy holidays. And I look forward to seeing and working with all of you in 2022. And thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much for everyone. This is just a fantastic, and all of these awards are so well deserved.
Bye, guys.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
See you next year.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.